Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Boy, did we ever.
Yeah, we did. We did indeed.
It was a bit of a doozy.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Well, a doozy would entail that, like, it was shocking, but...
Okay, you're right. You're right. It wasn't like...
Yeah.
Yes, weren't revelations, but it was highly entertaining.
We gasped a lot, but we weren't like clutching our pearls. No. We weren't like, oh.
We were like, oh, no, she did.
Yeah.
Or as Garcelle said twice, damn. What's in scene and in confessional.
So, having driven home from work the long route the other day and listened to a lot of podcasts, I realized the one thing our podcast is missing is kind of the what have you been up to lately sort of thing. And I realized we don't need that because we're married to each other.
Right, yeah. This must be like what Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have to deal with because like...
Just like it, I mean...
Well, because, so much of that show is like that beginning is like, let's just talk about what's going on. It's like, well, you were there for it. So
right. So I was just like, I was listening to a couple different podcasts going like, but that doesn't make sense because we already know what we've been doing and like it would be just completely unnatural. And, so on that note, so what I've been doing lately, no, I'm totally kidding.
Well, we kind of do it in the car when we're like, how was your day? And like, what happened at work? But
we should save everything for our podcast. We should have no personal life of our own. No privacy.
I only live on podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. I have no personality anywhere else.
No.
But for those of you just joining us, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, follow, catch us on all the social media. Get us on TikTok while you still can.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll figure out. I don't think it's that different over on Reels.
Yeah.
I am wondering if Reels is going to get like better.
What's wrong with
Reels? Everything that happens on Reels happened on TikTok 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So if TikTok no longer exists in America, is Reels going to get that, get things first?
I think because basically it's like you're just doing a video, but you're putting it on your Instagram.
Right, exactly.
I just thought of something. Mom Talk will not survive this.
Oh, God. Mom Talk will not survive this.
Oh, my gosh. It's in the name.
Yeah, I wonder, I guess Mom Reels. Mamagram?
No.
Yeah, we got to find out what those Real Lives of Mormon wives, how they're going to deal with it.
Back. That was good.
Yeah, but
oh gosh,
but things we didn't consider. But back to Beverly Hills.
Yes,
I forget how it all started. That the ending was so kind of like whoa.
Yeah,
I forget everything before.
Everything else like
I know that he went out to Garcelle's beach house.
Right, Rosie the Riveter helped her move. Mm-hmm. Like she basically was like, no, look, I'm the thing. I'm the thing, y'all. Like, there's no subtlety with the looks.
I do have to say, though, that she did back up that U-Haul pretty well. Like, you couldn't back up a U-Haul like that.
Well, I drove a U-Haul from L.A. to San Francisco to Nob Hill. And, at one point, kind of scooted back down the hill. It was very scary because I lived on a very sharp hill. And it was, I would not do it again.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what you have me for.
Yes. And I'd back up into that. No, I think my friend Robert did it actually.
Oh, backed up onto that street.
In that alley.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
which is
be scary.
Very scary. Because it goes up a hill and so you're backing up and yeah.
But Sutton did that pretty well.
Good on Sutton and Avi, who was on the...
Who's now been outed as an Ozempic user.
Right. Gosh, Sutton.
Even though she called it something like Ozempia or something.
Ozempia.
Which made me wonder, is she getting Ozempic and some prep mixed up or something?
Or Activia.
Oh, maybe.
They still make Activia, even though Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't do the commercial anymore.
I mean, if they do, they are missing out, because if I don't see Jamie Lee Curtis doing the commercial, I don't really think about it. I don't know. They must make Activia.
They must. It wasn't just about Jamie Lee Curtis.
We'll check into it.
Yeah.
This is still recording. We don't need to worry about it. My antivirus keeps popping up on the laptop.
We can still see it, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to just close it, though, so you keep talking.
Okay. So, yeah, the whole point of we're going to help Garcelle move as if this is the only stuff she's taking to the beach house, which beach house looked very pretty.
Yeah.
Very well done. I think will probably be maybe that'll be the finale, or housewarming at her beach house. What
I really like is that it connected back. It's one of the rare times in Housewives where we get to see completion.
The before and after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's what seemed like just a throwaway, I bought a beach house now that I have money. We'll never see that again. Womp womp. Here
exactly. Because it was I remember that was I think her second season. It was or maybe her third. And it's I have this beach house. And it's okay.
And
This
she went out there and met
dirty
her,
shack.
yeah, with her sister.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, this is an excuse for screen time. But no, here it is. They tore the damn thing down and built a whole triple queen size bunk bed.
I would not be in I would just be like, someone's going to fall on me, and I'm going to fall on the person below me.
It's not
and then
burger time. It's not like one mattress going to boom, 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 you're not going to pancake.
I wouldn't want to, like, no Oreo, no.
I think if you were kids, though, staying there, that'd be kind of cool.
I'd still, as a child, I'd be, this is claustrophobic.
Yeah, that's true. They are pretty close together.
Very much so. Really the main mission of that was like, let's gossip about everybody,
right?
And I really hope Garcelle will actually say this to Dorit's face, because you can't just like throw that out in the scene and have it not come back.
Throw what specifically?
That
about
basically inferring that PK arranged the robbery.
Yeah,
because it's like, she's like, I don't think Dorit had anything to do with it, but I think someone did. Well, who else would that be?
Yeah.
Thus, PK clapping back at her on Instagram.
Right.
In a not a great way. But it's kind of like, oh, really? You're going to go there? Like, I know a lot of people are thinking it, have said it, but like, I wouldn't put that out on the show.
Well, I mean, it's enough where she said it the first time, and the fact that she's saying it again.
Yeah.
She must have a really vivid
just come out and say, happened. I think the robbery was faked. Or now it's changed, because now it's like, I think that someone orchestrated this.
She's saying there's something fishy about the robbery.
Yeah, just say it. Like, she's gonna like just say it, and say it to Dorit's face.
Yeah.
At the reunion.
Or anytime
before that, yes.
So, I mean, that actually kind of gets to the whole, I mean, we're not going to have to jump to the end by me saying this, but Sutton's whole thing about the sisterhood, keep bringing this up, that like we shouldn't have to say things behind everyone's back. Then why do you continue to say things behind people's back?
Like, why didn't you say to Garcelle, maybe you shouldn't say that. If you feel that way, say it to Dorit's face. But she wouldn't say that, because like, she's not going to go against Garcelle.
Right. And then even more of that when they're waiting in line for a tattoo. That there's more back and forth.
Well, that was funny because, and obviously it gets brought up because we see it next week, but like the fact that Sutton didn't give Garcelle what she wanted in that scene, which was like, no. She's like, well, that makes sense. Maybe she's closer to PK.
Yeah.
They weren't talking. So
Garcelle, you know, like, was very like, damn it, you didn't react the way that I needed to.
And you didn't run and tell somebody right away, so I wouldn't have to be the one to lead story.
Yeah.
Garcelle doesn't lead story well. Like, she'll say it behind your back or in her confessional, but she won't like move the story around.
Right. And part of the sisterhood, they need to say it all in front of each other.
Exactly.
Where I think this whole sisterhood is falling apart, and what bothers me the most.
That never existed?
Well, one, that's definitely a part of it, but I don't need Sutton lecturing me.
On the sisterhood.
Anyone on that show needs Sutton lecturing them. And Sutton, whether she likes it or not, comes down, I think her little Southern accent makes it even worse. Like, she's a school marm lecturing you and telling you, well, you did something bad. You didn't do the pact of the sisterhood.
Well, it's like Erika's therapist was saying, like, it's the shoulds.
Yeah.
You should do this. You should do that. Like, that would be my reaction too. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I don't need another adult telling me as an adult what I should do. So I think it's a natural reaction to be like, screw off.
Yeah, and everyone knows that if you're going to try and make there be like a overall kind of like way we're going to treat each other as cast members, you do that before the season starts filming.
Yeah.
Not on camera. Or you do it right at, before the reunion.
Yeah.
You have a little meeting. How's it going to go?
Yeah. So, like the shit of it all was just like, not working for me.
So that was part of it. I guess Erika invited her, had her people over talking about redoing the house, and then her therapist over.
And then there was Erika and Dorit in that scene talking. Basically, it's like Erika and Dorit talking about the Sprinter van incident. And then Kyle and Sutton and Jennifer talking about the incident at Jennifer's playhouse.
Oh, right. What did you think of, I told you about that. I didn't realize it was a scene from this week.
It's kind of dumb. Like, I don't understand. Like, Candy had two houses. Like, she bought two houses. Like, they were like adjacent to one another. and I didn't get that either. And I don't get this.
I get it in that case because they're probably not giant houses. So probably between the two of them, they're probably like a sufficient, size. Yeah. So I don't think they're like tiny bungalows, but I don't think they're like, gigantic mansions. So together, they make a whole house. Like, we live in a pretty modest, single family starter home sort of situation. But like, if we had the one next door too, that'd be kind of cool. Like,
yeah, but it's like you're leaving one house to go to another house. It doesn't feel like I would want everything to be in the one house. Like, it's a playhouse and it's like my living space. So I don't see separation.
I don't know. I can kind of see it. I can see like, when I have people over, this is the house that's always ready to go. And then over there, I'm a slob and I can not worry about,
Okay.
That's
maybe that's
not necessarily being
the
a slob,
entertaining house.
Right.
And like, this is like whatever house.
And then that also makes it so that like, the bedrooms, I'm imagining if that's like a kind of smallish house in LA, it's like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, maybe in 1 bath, then, the bedrooms don't have to be bedrooms in that house. Then they can also be sitting areas and other kind of, storage for her awards and for all of her movie memorabilia, things like that,
It's still kooky to me, though. And the house in Malibu that she doesn't use because there's a ghost.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wonder if it survived the fire.
Huh?
There was just a fire down there where like a lot of people were evacuated.
I thought you were talking about the fire
with Denise Richards
and Camille.
Oh, right,
that was
right.
9.
Yeah, no,
that's why they didn't go to Provence.
Oh, right.
Because the fire situation.
There was another fire recently, like a wildfire down there that was I think much more devastating than that one.
Malibu is so pretty. I went there once when I lived in LA, but it's so far out and so susceptible to stuff like that. I wouldn't feel comfortable living in Malibu.
Yeah. No, Malibu is definitely a place where you don't leave it once you go there.
Yeah. Like Eileen lived in Malibu and like Camille, of course. And it's like, you got to like trek out. That's why I think they didn't really host a lot of stuff.
Oh, because
well, like Eileen didn't very often. Like, I think she had a couple of things. I think, you don't want to trek out all the way out there just to, shoot a scene.
I'm trying to think.
Before the
party, what else happened?
Just talking about said party, looks, vintage, Gucci, weird pants.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I get that the zipper was the focal piece, but it made it look like she's wearing some sort of weird leather diaper.
Like, if you unzip it, is it like just 2 separate pieces?
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Some
modern vintage take.
It was probably Gucci when like Tom Ford was doing Gucci because it's overly sexual.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like his thing, as you recall.
Yeah, I do recall. You watch one documentary series on the fashion industry and Vogue, and you think you know everything.
I'm like, that's Gucci from 1995. That's a Tom Ford.
I guess it does qualify as vintage these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it does just go to the party after that.
Yeah.
I didn't like what Erika was wearing to the party. I thought the bodysuit was a little...
Was it a bodysuit?
Well, there was a coat, but she's wearing basically like a spandex bodysuit underneath that was like kind of tie-dye-ish.
Okay.
Like his denim tie-dye-ish. In fact, when they showed her dancing on the dance floor, I was like, who's this person? Like, it just wasn't the right shape.
Did this happen like around the time that Cowboy Carter came out? Is that why?
Oh.
I mean, that's why... Kyle was like, I'm going to do a Denim and Diamonds party.
I wonder if she was also like, no, this way it won't be so weird when people see me with a country music star.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I'm totally into country. Remember I had that Diamonds and Denim party.
You guys, who did show up very early to the party was Camille Grammer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
this. And why, I mean, I guess...
A few thoughts.
Why did she have to be billed as Kyle's friend?
Because she has to be somebody's friend because she's not a full-time cast member.
Right.
Let's start, because you didn't watch the first 2 seasons. Are you bringing up Maeve?
Well, she'll just sit here.
Oh, Maeve. For those listening to this, there's a cat in the room now.
Yeah.
It's Maeve.
Well, there's 2 cats in the room, but one's on my lap. So the other one.
That's like a riddle. Yeah. There are 2 cats. Where is the other cat? Here's the thing.
Camille. Tell me about Camille.
So everyone hated Camille her first season. I loved Camille because I'm not a contrarian, but when someone says you should date something, I tend to be like, no, why, what's wrong with it? So I was big into Camille. She was playing painted as the villain. She was the villain, you know, blah, blah, blah. She was like labeled like the most hated housewife on like a magazine cover. Cut to season 2, she walked so Dorit could run. She listened to all that hatred and flipped her personality and was like nice as pie second season.
Okay.
And was very boring and thus got fired and didn't come back for the third season. Plus they already had Brandy by that time as a friend, and they're like, well, this chick is cheaper and will do anything and be the villain. Let's keep her. Ixnay Camille.
Okay.
So, and I loved Camille at that time. I always wanted Camille to come back, and then she did come back as a friend season 9, and I was like, oh shit, no, I do not want Camille back. As you recall, that was the season where she like walked off the reunion set and like was unzipping her dress.
I don't necessarily recall that.
It's the one. It was the reunion with Dorit and the.
Oh
yeah.
That's my first Beverly Hills reunion.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
He's referring to Dorit's pancake makeup on her clavage, which was very, very in HD, very noticeable.
Yeah.
Very cakey.
And that weird, like the weird pony and all the clips. Anywho, after that season, I was like, no. So anytime Camille shows up, I'm like, why is Camille here?
Well, also, I don't have any problem with Camille being at the party. Like, fine, there's a lot of people at that party. Camille could be one of them. It could be a noteworthy Camille. Like, you know, Teddy could have been at that party. And
sure, Teddy was invited and Teddy didn't go.
Right, but even had she gone, it didn't mean she had to sit down with all the other women in the drama.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, you were not on the cast. I know you had a mic pack and you were like, you're an OG, but why are you trying to jump into this? We'll get into like the whole
conversation.
But like, I was like, what is she doing here? And also, she's a little nutty.
Yeah.
And she just flip-flops like in scene.
And I think, honestly, she ruined the whole pacing of that whole conversation by butting in there at all. Like, she derailed it. She totally derailed it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad the results were spectacular, but that's not because of her.
No, it's just like, it was like she was having a Alexis meets Britney moment of like, you guys.
Right.
And it's like, why are you doing this? So like, yeah, when she comes around, I'm like, you don't fit here anymore, and you're just really weird, and just like, yeah, I know, Kelsey, like that moment with Kyle, and Kyle's like, that's not my situation. That was your situation with Kelsey. That's not me.
Right.
You know, she's just,
I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where you might be right, where she's there, she's like, well, I'm here, I'm mic'd, and, you know, I'm going to give, you know, I'm going to be used or I'm not going to be used in the scene, so I might as well try and do something.
Because I think she doesn't need the show. She made, like, I'm sure she has a rich husband now. She made a lot of money from her for her divorce, you know.
It's probably just nice to be on the show.
No, that's what I'm saying, like, to have, like, a bit of fame, because that's what she's known for, Housewives and being a club and TV dancer.
Yeah,
no diss.
I know her. That's entirely, yes.
Downtime's really round.
I remember. Yes. I saw the first season.
Wubba, wubba, wubba.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't understand why Camille, or why, you know, she didn't need to insert herself in any of that. No. I think she might have been more successful had she just been in the background, and then like maybe she could have found a different thread to pull at.
Like, not a big group thread, but like, or conversation, but like she could have spoken to like one of them off camera, like, you know, to the side.
Right.
Still been on camera, but yeah.
Should we get to the whole?
Yeah. Basically.
So I like how when the three of them were just sitting there, you're like, why are they crammed onto that tiny couch together?
It's like Bose is like, yeah, so
and then when should we get the other ladies? Oh yeah, let's. And then that's when they all fill in around.
Yeah.
So they clearly knew what they were going to do. You know, like, oh, you guys sit here, you kind of break down what's going to happen, and then we're going to bring the other ladies in. And
well, I'm sure too, Kyle's like, we need a sitting area for when we have a big group fight,
right?
And we're all sitting comfortably. Yeah. So. What did you think about?
Well, so it's
Sutton trying to
Sutton lecturing the women on how they should be behaving.
Yes,
and it doesn't. I'm triggered by it. I'm with Erika. I'm triggered by it just because, like, I don't need another grown person to tell me how I should be acting. And I think because it got heated, I don't know if all the points were made correctly or not. But I think Dorit was right in saying, like, you need to practice what you preach. Like, you're not doing this. You're being phony about it. Like, this whole thing is phony. Just act right, come right, and everything will be fine.
My thing is, from last week, I don't understand Sutton's point and how she's trying to relate it to the group of this whole, like, why it was such a huge deal. And I know it wasn't about Teddy, it wasn't about, like, whatever, but, like, this idea that we all need to, like, say everything and be on, like, one, like, long group text thread or Texas thread.
Yeah, well, the Texas thread for sure. Thanks, Garcelle.
Yeah.
I wonder how many drinks she had. I was like, Texas, huh? All right.
The thing in Texas.
The thing, though, you brought up the Texas thing and it derailed what I was thinking. It's just that, so she's pissed off that Erika didn't just say and, like, support her in calling out the hypocrisy. Like, had Erika turned around and said, "That's not what you said," would that have made...
is that what she's mad?
I think that's what she's mad at. Is like, we shouldn't be having these aside conversations. Like, we're all at the table together. We should be all addressing each other, and we shouldn't be afraid of turning to one another and saying, "You didn't say that last night," and then not expecting that person to explode at you. And so that's my whole thing, is that I think she's trying to say we should be able to have beef with each other, but it not be this huge thing that results in us screaming at each other. But then when someone questions her about how she's going about it, she starts screaming
and freaking out, and then she, like, gets all kind of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll use my indoor voice.
Right.
Sorry, I'll speak softer." It's like, no, just, like, have a regular conversation. It's like she wants to do the clap, 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 but, like, that wouldn't work for her.
Yeah.
She's trying to make a point, and it's just she's not making it well. I kind of understand what you're saying, what she's saying, but yeah,
there's a bit of a physician heal thyself sort of thing.
You're right. Dorit was right in this, that she was not walking the walk.
Yeah. And so, I think if Sutton were able to say all these things and then practice what she's preaching, I think it wouldn't be a big problem. But she's still saying stuff behind everyone's back. She's not, she's freaking out when someone questions her intent. So, like, how does she expect other people to be, like, open to criticism when she herself is not?
Right.
So,
and I like that Erika, too, was like, yeah, but, like, you... And Garcelle's nodding. She's like, you're not... Was she, like, stable or consistent? Is that what she said?
I think, you're not consistent.
Yeah, and it's like, she was making, basically, Erika made the point that you just made.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
And what did Bose jumped in at one point?
Well, because when Sutton made that whole, like, you're not mad, like, that seemed very rehearsed. You're not mad at me. You're mad at your life. And then Bose said, well, you just weaponized what's going on with her. And then for, like, I like that Dorit was like, okay, I'll be very open and honest. My life really sucks right now.
Right.
And I'm really upset. And, yes, I might be, she didn't say this, but, like, the subtext, I might be taking it out on other people, whatever.
Right.
But yes, Bose's point about, like, she's going through crap and you're weaponizing it. Right. I wish Kyle had said, like, because she wasn't saying anything. I wish she had stepped in, because she said it in her confessional, like, that's really low, Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she would have said it in scene. And I'm sure Dorit, too, will probably make that point.
Yeah. And I can't remember if it was Sutton or Camille who started making their whole point that, like, it was Camille who was like, well, we've all gone through this before. And it's like, it drives me up the flinging wall when someone, like, starts, like, I don't mind, you trying to sympathize because you've been through something similar, but the way that was being brought up was like, it was almost like a competition, and someone was like, it's not a competition.
Garcelle said that. Yeah. It's like, we've all been through stuff.
And just because you've been through these sorts of things doesn't give you any, expertise on the thing. Like, just because you had it, harder, so to speak, doesn't mean you are an authority on speaking about it.
Right.
It doesn't give you the ability to override how anyone else is feeling, and that always drives me nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's what she was doing with Kyle. Like, well, and I've been there. It's like, shh.
Especially when you've been there, 10 years ago?
More, yeah. Around 2014.
Like, you get it. Like, when you're going through anything, really actually life changing, it's just something that's all you can think about. That's all you're focused on, and you can't really it just doesn't compare. The last thing you want to hear about is, oh, this happened to you 15 years ago? Like,
yeah, it's like, and now you've moved on. You met like this great guy, supposedly. You're happily married, supposedly. So just like, why are we like going back to like, yes, you're treated like crap by Kelsey, and that's bad, and that it sucked, but like that was first season. Let's come on. Yeah. So she derails the conversation of like, and the whole like basically was like, you know, like ding, ding, like Brittany, like I gotta say something. Ding, 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 ding. Like when my house burned down, I was like, where is this going when my house burned down?
Yeah.
And I don't think she even knew where it was going.
Yeah. And her whole point was just like, I didn't feel supported by this group. And
especially you, Dorit. And then
I mean, the fact that she wasted zero time.
Like, just like came back like, you were a see you next Tuesday to me. Camille. And
the
like,
number.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, it's saying it like right back, saying, I didn't say you were effing C. I said
you're a stupid C. There's a difference.
And then later on saying, you know what? She said, effing stupid C.
Yeah.
And then for Erika and her confession will be like, C.
Yeah. I mean, that was just...
Wow.
I didn't know that that was a callback to an earlier season where...
And it was a joke. And like Dorit was saying...
Like, originally it was a joke?
It was a joke. She was like being... I can't remember, like I think Dorit was, you know, drunk and whatever. I can't remember the entire context, but like, yeah, it wasn't like she wasn't serious like, you're being a whatever.
Oh, so Camille...
But Camille
made it a thing.
Made a thing as if like she was being serious. Similar to like Kyle and that Bravo.
Yeah, right.
See, Teddy, that's how you do it. And yeah, like it wasn't a big deal, but now Camille's running with it. Just like, and this is what really bugged me. When Camille is trying to like make a point, and clearly she watches this show.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes back to season 10 when Dorit was late because she was taking selfies, and it has no relevancy to the point you are currently making.
I think Dorit handled that well. Like I was totally, besides the judicious use of the C word, I thought that she was handling just the timing, everything perfectly in that like, yeah, who's them? It's not basically saying it's not you. What do you care? Like,
yes.
Yeah. What? Oh, she's like, oh, you're so-called friends, and it's like, yeah, okay. So what? That's not you.
Yeah, like I didn't make you wait. Like, and then it wasn't a clapback. It was not a clapback.
Yeah.
It was just Camille to be like, well, and then that time you were taking all the selfies and you were late to Teddy's event.
It's like, you weren't there. What do you care? And then that's when she flipped so easily into the Emily. What are you even doing here?
Exactly. Except you're not even a friend of.
Yeah.
You're like a cameo.
Yeah. And I can see the frustration in Dorit because I was feeling it too. It's just like, why are you even sitting on this couch? Why are you part of this shop right now?
Yes.
Like, I did not sign a contract to deal with your ass this year. Like,
I am full time. I get it. You're an OG, but you are nothing right now.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You were invited to this party, God knows why, and you're a guest. Shut up.
Yeah, like, stay out of it. And then when she continued to be like, oh, and then you showed up with
her.
Yeah, and you could tell. I love that they let it hang long enough that it was like Erika got to like kind of look back and forth between them, and be like, oh, Erika, my name's Erika.
Still Erika.
Yeah.
Still Erika.
Just to show that like Camille can't be bothered to remember her name, or probably thinks so little of Erika to even remember her name.
Camille was like, line.
Yeah. It was
line. What's her name again?
I mean, I think that whole end scene is, I really hope Peacock shows it without the censored.
I need all the scenes.
Yeah, I need.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
The back and forth, and then like Sutton trying to like bring it back. Well, okay, but so, and then I truly want to be there for you, and Dorit wasn't just going to put a Band-Aid on it, and she said, I would like to believe that.
Yeah,
but I really don't.
I mean, I think Dorit's right.
I think she's right too.
I mean, yeah,
hilariously right.
We just need, Sutton needs to stop lecturing people, just plain and simple,
and also stop. You're not really her friend. Like, I get it, you appreciate the situation, but you're not really her friend. So all that bullshit on the boat of like, I'm there for you, I'll go to court with you, like I'll braid your hair, was nothing.
I mean, I can see how that might be how Sutton makes friends, is like just doing the right thing at the right time. So like, if you need someone to hold your hand during this, I'll be there for you. And then like that might be how she like gets closer to people. But at the same time, it just no, like if you don't want to be someone's friend, don't be someone's friend.
Yeah, or be like just like I'm not asking for a deep friendship. Just be like, I'm sorry for what you're going through. I've been there. You know, if you ever need something, give me a call. Not like, just keep it very like light.
Right.
But this whole idea of like, we need to go deep. Like when Garcelle's like, I want to go deeper with Kyle and then talk about her behind her back. Like, Sutton and Garcelle just don't go about things in the right way.
Well, I mean, it's a different way, but yeah, it's not working for me.
No.
So
No.
Have we missed anyone else? I think we got everything.
Kathy was there. She was downing.
Down and ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bose just was talking about her daughter, and then
because she was gone for most of the filming. She was in Brazil, but I loved her pink outfit, like cowboy Barbie.
Yeah, she really set herself apart from the rest of them. Dorit, Erika, and Bose had the most kind of notable outfit. I think the rest of them were just like, look at us, dressed like cowgirls.
I liked Kyle.
Her was pretty good.
Yeah, so the necklace. Yeah. I think Sutton, like, what funny enough, like the most Southern of them all, where it's just like, I've got this coat draped over my shoulders and I got a hat.
Yeah.
This party is sponsored by Kemosabe.
Yeah. Kyle knows how to throw a good party. I would love to be invited.
Yes.
You go to a Kyle party, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Oh, I don't know that we have much else to talk about. So, I mean, we could go downstairs and watch New York next. Come back up. You got energy?
I could maybe watch New York. I don't know if I could pod about New York.
All right. Well, then we'll have to do this all next time.
Until next time.